What's up there, YouTube? So I wanted to talk to you guys about something today. Little bit annoying to me. Now, this is my desktop, and it's just one of my pet peeves. I guess it's not so annoying, it's just a pet peeve. So if I right click, I actually go to view and I show desktop icons. I always have them hidden because I don't like to see my desktop icons, but let's look at them. There's not a single folder or file on that. There's all shortcuts to programs and stuff. See the little arrow in the corner? That's a shortcut. These are all shortcuts to programs. Not a single one in here is a program. It's a shortcut to a program or a shortcut to a file. That's sometimes the thing. Like even the recycle bin is right there. Recycle bin. I don't need that shortcut. We're just going to delete that. It's auto arranged and it's just over on the side, and I don't really even use the desktop icons. I don't like my desktop having anything on it, so I go to view and I turn off show desktop icons. I'd rather just see the desktop. So I'm gonna explain to you guys something real quick that's just a pet peeve, drives me freaking crazy. When people say, oh, I just copy it to your desktop, that's not where files go. Okay, so you don't, if you're sitting at your desk, you don't just get all your bills and everything and throw them all over the desk, do you? If you're drawing up something, you just don't stack it on the desk. You put it in a folder and you put it in a file cabinet. If you have file cabinets, that's where you put it. You put it in a folder, bills. You put it in a file cabinet, file, to keep a range of it. Now, you can put like a little post-it note and stick it to your monitor and say, files are in the file, or bills are in the bill folder in the desktop. That's a pointer to the folder in the thing, so you don't have a desk full of paper. That's what it's called, a desktop. It's the same as your desktop that you work on. It's the same as your working surface. You would not have your keyboard, mouse, a keyboard for music or a bunch of other stuff just packed with stuff on your desktop. It gets annoying. Even when I get a few things on here, it drives me crazy. I want to take the stuff off my desk. Same thing with my desktop. I want to take the stuff off my desktop. So my files are in folders. So if you look, you have documents, and that's where your documents go. Gee, amazing. You got videos. That's where your videos go. You got, even on your cards, even on your SD cards or your cards that you record videos on, even on these, your XQD cards, it puts them in folders. It doesn't just throw the files randomly in the card. It puts them in a folder. And inside that folder is where the files are. So if you go in the DCIM folder, there's another folder telling you what the other thing, and then inside there, that's where the files are, and they're all arranged in there. That's how you keep track of stuff. You don't just throw it off on the desktop. You don't just put it all in one folder. I've been doing, like, watching videos of a lot of videos lately of Studio One and different editing applications for editing audio, for doing mixing audio and doing different stuff, because I'm getting back into making music. And my first thing I noticed was they constantly say, just put it on the desktop, and then I just drag it from your desktop to your thing. Why are you dragging anything from your desktop to the thing? It shouldn't be in your desktop to begin with. It should be in a folder on your computer. So if I go to my 40 gig SD card, I've got a folder called Studio One. And here's where my folders are, my files are for Studio One. They're not randomly on the desktop. If I go in here to my 40, there's a file with loops. Here's the loops. They're not sound sets. They're not just sitting on a folder on the desktop. They're not just randomly arranged, songs, tutorials. There's everything is in its own place. There's a place for everything, and the place is not on the desktop. The desktop is where you have your mouse, keyboard, where you put temporary things or pointers to the files so that you can find them. That's what the desktop's for. Now you can say, well, I don't want to use the desktop for that. You're right. You can do what you want to. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but I can't count the times it actually makes my brain hurt when I go to somebody's house and I see new folder, new folder, new folder, new folder, new folder all over the desktop, and then here's a folder with something in it, and here's another folder with something, and they have no idea where it is. They've got so many icons. I already don't know. These are just the ones that the icons in here are just the ones that the programs automatically put on the desktop, and I don't know where everything is in here either. I would honestly just delete this. I don't need any of these. I don't use these. I don't use these icons, right? I don't. Here, this helps. I honestly don't use this. I don't want this stuff on the desktop. I don't need shortcuts. There, recycle bin, empty recycle bin. Now I don't even have to worry about I completely deleted all my icons right there in front of you because I don't need it. I don't need this stuff in my desktop, especially not on my desktop. If I see a bunch of folders out here, I remember years ago, I helped a guy, a DJ. He was editing on a MacBook, and he had his music playing on a MacBook, and I was shooting a wedding, and I was there to help him out with something. He had a second camera. He wanted footage from my camera or something. And he said, hey, can I get some of those shots? I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll shoot some shots of you, and then I'll just give them to you. So I, set up the camera and got set a camera up and shot him doing his DJ thing. And I was just going to give him the files. So I had an SD card reader. And I remember I put it in. He had a USB ports. All he had in his Mac. He didn't have a card reader or nothing. His old MacBook or whatever had that. So I plugged it in. I said, where do you want it? He said, right there on the desktop. And inside the desktop, there was all these. I clicked, and there was all these folders and stuff all over. It was annoying as hell. I was like, you're just going to put it right on the desktop? He goes, yeah, just put it right there on the desktop. That's where I keep everything. I said, why would you keep everything on the desktop? Nobody does that. You don't have everything stacked on your kitchen table, do you? Or do you put all your dishes on the counter, or do you put them in the cabinets? You put them in the cabinets. The counter is not the place for all your dishes. The desktop isn't the place for all your files. The file cabinet is. That's what the whole file system is for. It's arranged in a way that you can find everything with ease and not have everything on your desktop. Just a pet peeve of mine. Drives me a little crazy. Who else here sees that and goes, oh, what are you doing with all this junk on your desktop? How can you find anything on there with it just a bunch of icons all over the place? How can you find anything? It's not arranged. I know where stuff is here. I can find it because it's all arranged. See the little things, and it tells me there's my music. Look, music. That's where music goes. And they're in folders. Look, there's Jeff Buckley. It's in a folder with the music. Look, there it is. There's the music from Jeff Buckley's album. There's Guardian of the Galaxy. There's 1 and 2. Look, original score, motion picture soundtrack. Freddie Mercury solo collection. Let's go through this real quick. Look, Mr. Bad Guy, CD1, Mr. Bad Guy. Here's Mr. Bad Guy. There's all his songs in order. It's arranged. I know where the album is. There, I can see what the albums are. It makes no sense. Why would you wouldn't just put all your songs in one folder, would you? Or do you just throw everything in the same folder? Or just throw it all on the desktop? Just have songs all over the desktop. You eventually run out of space on your desktop. Is that when you add a new folder and call it new folder? Throw all your songs in there? Now, this new folder 1 is my... New folder 21 is the one with all my songs in it. The computer is... The way computers are designed are simple, and it's easy to navigate if you organize stuff. Have a little bit of organization, people. All right. Anyway, that's just me having a little rant. I'm out. I'll talk to you later. Take it easy, YouTube. Give this video a thumbs up if you think I'm right, or if I'm anal, whatever. Why is this guy so picky about where I put my stuff? I don't care where you put your stuff. You can put it all over the desktop for all you care. I'm just saying it's annoying to me when I hear professionals say, just put it on your desktop and then drag it from your desktop to here. I'm like, why in the hell would you put it on your desktop? I don't put anything on my desktop. I don't put anything, even temporary stuff I don't put on my desktop. I put in a folder where I know where it is so I can go and delete it later. I guess if you're doing stuff like super temporary, just for an example on a YouTube video, you know, putting on your desktop is easier place to find it. It's easy to find right there. I don't have to go searching. I can make a folder, put it on the desktop, or even just put the file right on the desktop and then drag it in. And I'm just trying to show you how to do the editing and not how to organize your files. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Thumbs down if you don't. By the way, I'm shooting this on the Nikon Z6 with the 50mm 1.8 lens, my just little nifty 50. Manual focus lens over a USB using the new Nikon web camera app, and I'm actually capturing my footage like that. I think it looks pretty good. I haven't figured out the quite, you know, I got to sit there and try focusing it a little bit, but once I get this thing nailed, I'm just going to leave it like this because I'm basically sitting in this chair with the desktop in front of me to edit, and I don't really need it to be doing, you know, a web camera's fine. I can let my granddaughter use my web camera then. She needs a new web camera. I'll let her use mine. Anyway, I'm out, YouTube. Take it easy.